It's Press Pass with Jack Ebling, Mid-Michigan's spirited sports debate. Now let's get talking sports. Here's Jack.
Great evening, Mid-Michigan and beyond, and welcome to Press Pass here on Fox 47. It's our non-selection Sunday show, and time to meet Team 338. Tom Crawford, Bluebelly Tom, my broadcast partner spanning 18 years. He's a regular contributor to thewolverine.com and creator of the Crawford Podcasting Network in Indianapolis. Ready to watch Michigan cut down the nets. Didn't happen.
Didn't happen. And I look at this, our credential here, and all these credentials have a story, and this one has a story. And I know we're going to talk about a second segment, but it was really a sad day. But I got real happy today because I watched on WLNS the back-to-back Big Ten championships tournament games for Michigan in 17 and 18. All of a sudden, all the negativity went away in my life for 4 hours.
You were saying, where's Mo Vaughn?
Zach Irvin. Zach Irvin was Michigan could use Zach Irvin.
Yeah.
He was a player. It showed a lot of the void that they don't have right now.
Also, want to welcome Lindsey Huddleston. He is the founder of Sports Psychology Solutions, the SPS Edge, and he is a regular Thursday contributor to The Drive with Jack, and my travel partner on the way down, along with Doug Warren. And we tried to keep 6 feet of distance in your car. I don't know if we succeeded.
I stayed close to that. We focused on that. That was a great trip. It was exciting. Was looking forward to go down and be a part of something great. And we got the word, and we had to turn around and head back. But had fun doing the show. Steven held us down in the studio, and now we're back here now.
8 hours of driving, and we watched about 8 minutes of warm-up.
I saw 40 minutes.
That's what it was, right?
Oh, that's tough.
Also want to welcome Stephen Brooks. Does a great job covering Michigan State football and basketball for 24/7 Sports Spartan Tailgate Premium site, and he was the fill-in studio host for The Drive with Jack while Lindsey and I were driving back from Indianapolis up I-69. Really appreciated you filling in.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate the opportunity. It was kind of cool. Everybody had to sort of step up and readjust everything on the fly. So, you guys know how that goes.
Yeah. Stephen was volunteering. Guys, I thought I was going to get Wally pipped by the time I got back. I said I'll never be able to get back on the air here. But that was a lot of fun, or as much fun as you could have, considering what time we left and what we saw. But, hey, you're not going to see much basketball except games like Tom's talking about.
All
some
about
of
it.
these
Michigan
old
State games
right?
were on yesterday.
Roll them all out. Last night I watched every episode of The Journey.
I did too.
Try to get your fix somehow. We will be back in just a minute, and we're going to have a little fun with some fantasy stuff. The big picture. We're going to talk about this Big Ten tournament that was never played. Up next.
Spring break is just around the corner. Great deals going on now on SUVs from Merrill Ford Okemos 2020 Explorer. Save over $10,400 or lease it for $199 per month with just $2,000 down. And March's Truck Month with $8,500 rebates on 19 F-150s plus 10-year, 100,000-mile drivetrain protection. Better deals, better selection, better service. Merrill Ford Okemos, working hard for you.
Don't know your face, don't know your name. Why don't we play a little game? Keep the money, I don't want the fame. I'm gonna make you do a double take.
Here are your tickets to Hollywood.
Fox 47 thanks LaFontaine Auto, the Recycling Raccoons, and Capital Region International Airport for making The Masked Singer Fly Away a huge success. Keep watching to find out what we're going to give away next, and catch The Masked Singer Wednesday night at 8, only on Fox 47.
911, all new Monday on Fox.
What's really important to me is being able to have a partner, and Dart Bank has been that for me. I'm Eric Nelson. I'm a managing partner here at the English Inn. I've worked with John Morris, at Dart Bank to help put together multiple projects that have assisted us with growing our business and continuing to be successful.
Team spirit, face paint, more cowbell. Dean Trailways Motor Coach takes care of your travel, so you can support your favorite Spartan teams and focus on the important things. Dean Trailways, your favorite ride.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. It's time for The Big Picture, brought to you by Dean Trailways. With trips for every season, Dean takes care of the details so you can enjoy the experience, including daily casino runs and great getaways to Northern Michigan and Chicago, where Doug Warren and I were for the NFL Legends Classic. That's Dean Trailways, your favorite ride.
Well, guys, I have some somewhat shocking news that I am being told right now, and that is that the Rutgers and Michigan players have been told to leave the court, and that the tournament, as of right now, and again, this is literally something I heard within the last 30 seconds, is being canceled. So let's take a look, if we can, on the floor, and there you see it. The players have left the court. I think there was a sense that this might happen. Certainly we thought this last night, but again, it seemed this morning that things were going to go on, but this literally happening moments ago. Michigan players, there you see them walking off the court, and it seems we will have no basketball, not just today, but for the rest of the weekend, and who knows here going forward.
There you see Dave Rebson at BTN Studios alongside Jess Settles, John Beeline, and Tim Miles. And I guess the only clue was when they told the Rutgers players and Jacob Young walked off and he threw a forearm shiver into this metal sign. And you could tell how frustrated the players were after all of this. Tom Crawford, you were courtside getting ready for that 8 versus 9 matchup. Can you describe what can only be called a surreal environment?
Well, it was eerie. Even driving into Indy, it was a ghost town. I get to the arena and the press area is kind of vacant too. And I go in there, to watch 40 minutes of warm-ups and talking to our peeps, Chris Ballas and John Borton, the Wolverine, Doug Warren. And all of a sudden we're in this conversation, and there's only 6 minutes to go before tip, and the basketball stopped bouncing. Yeah. And then I look around and they're going off, and and then they're picking up the rosters, some of the personnel from the Big Ten. I knew it was bad, and I saw Geo Baker had this look on his face, like what's going on, and I will never forget that look. And it was just, then came the announcement. It was just a really sad day for those seniors and all those players. So much effort goes into that, and then all of a sudden it's taken away.
And at that point, I don't think anyone really knew the impact that the NCAA tournament would soon follow.
But didn't you? I had that gut feeling, though. And Rudy Gobert the night before, I felt everything was going to start to unravel.
I thought the NCAA was going to do what the NBA did and put everything on hold.
Yeah.
But that is not what happened. Lindsey Huddleston, you were there preparing for your first Big Ten tournament. It was Big Ten tournament number 22 for me. Instead, we wind up side by side in the SPS Edgemobile, heading back north from Indiana into Michigan. How do you describe that day?
Well, it was surreal because, like you said, it was my first Big Ten tournament. I was excited. I mean, I'm looking at my credential now, and it said all sessions. I was going to get all that basketball. So I was excited about that experience. But to Tom's point, there was an eerie feeling. First of all, we didn't talk about the fact that there were only press and essential staff in the arena, which would have been another impactful situation, I think, that we probably weren't ready for it had it played out like that. But
psychology was strange, to say the least.
Well, and I'm willing to say that a lot of teams would not have won who you would have expected to win based on them not having fans there. But overall, I'm glad I had the opportunity to get an idea, and I just look forward to next year being on track so I can be a part of it again.
Stephen Brooks, let's take a look at the seeding for the tournament based on the regular season. Who would have played for the title this afternoon? And with the announcement that Richard Pitino will keep his job in Minneapolis, Which schools, if any, will have coaching vacancies for 2020-21?
So I think this is the third time you and me have discussed this in the past week, and I'm going to give a third different answer. So I hope nobody's going back and digging up the receipts. But I'm going to go with Maryland. And then the more I've had time to think about this being the third time, they just make sense to me because you're looking at a combination in these settings of talent, of course, but desire too, and motivation. That could be another first for them. You know, they ended the season on such a poor note. This would be a chance to sort of get that stink off. This would be, you know, a chance to break out of that three-way tie. You know,
I mean,
for the
they
Big
would
Ten
have beaten
championship.
Michigan State, assuming the Spartans got past the Friday game, on Saturday.
I think that Maryland would have come into that with a lot more mentally to play for.
Yeah.
And I think deep down, honestly, I think Michigan State probably would have been content with going home Saturday. That would never be said publicly, but I think everybody could have lived with that. And I just think Maryland would have brought more to the table.
What about the stability of this conference and coaching changes? Do you see any?
With Pitino coming back, I really don't.
That's the only one that really, right?
Yeah,
that's all.
I think Chris Collins could be in the discussion, but
no.
I mean, he's got a 33% Big Ten winning percentage.
He has 100% of their NCAA tournament appearances.
And he's got a lot. He's got good personnel come back next year.
Yeah, and he had some injury stuff. He'd be the only one even in the discussion, I think. Archie Miller, maybe, if Beeline's out there. I mean, he's sort of the white whale this year. I thought he actually did pretty good on TV, by the way.
I did
he
too.
He should do that.
But somebody would be probably willing to make a drastic move for him if he's out there, you know?
When we get back, we are going to look at bracketology from Fox's Mike DeCourcy, region by region. Take a look at how this might have played out if your brackets were filled out a few minutes ago. We'll be right back.
At Graff Chevrolet in Okemos, you'll always get a great deal on a huge selection of high-quality used cars and trucks. But you'll also get something else, peace of mind. Every Graff used vehicle purchase comes with up to 6 oil changes for the first 2 years of ownership. We'll also give you free tire rotation with every other oil change. Always a great selection of used vehicles starting from $1,000 and up. Check them out at graffokemus.com. Lower your cost of ownership with our Peace of Mind program, only at Graff Chevrolet in Okemos.
The Student Bookstore is your green and white shop headquarters. Outfit your entire family with Spartan gear. We have a large selection of men's, women's, and children's clothing. Show off your Michigan State pride with new shoes, socks, hats, and more. Have your tailgate ready with MSU party supplies, car accessories, and dress your pet in green and white. We have gifts for students, grads, alumni, and fans. From Vera Bradley and Dooney and Burke to diploma frames and more. Always shop SBS for the biggest and best selection of green and white. Go green, go white, go SBS.
So, I got my start in officiating when a friend told me I should try it. At first, I just did basketball, and I got hooked. Before long, I added baseball, softball, football, and volleyball. I really enjoyed giving back to the game, working with kids, and working with my local association to recruit and train new officials. I would like to say to anybody that officiating is a great way to help kids and stay connected to the game. We always need new officials. There's help wanted, just listen.
Download the Fox 47 Storm Shield app and stay in touch everywhere you go.
Where's Larry? Where's Larry? Have you seen Larry? Where's Larry? Where's Larry? Have you seen Larry? Where's Larry? Follow that bear.
Have you seen Larry?
You just missed him.
Larry's RV of Jackson.
This is the XFL Double Forward Pass. This is about offensive creativity. Typically in football, only one forward pass is allowed. So if you want to try one of those tricky double passes, that first pass has to be a lateral, and those are risky. Not in the XFL. In our game, 2 forward passes are allowed as long as the ball doesn't cross the line of scrimmage until that second pass. So the game speeds up and the playbook opens wide up, creating exciting and unique opportunities for dual threat players. This is for the love of football. This is the XFL.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. Time for our Take It to the Bank segment, brought to you by Dart Bank, dedicated to meeting the needs of our banking community for more than 90 years with 4 convenient locations in Mason, Holton South Lansing, Grand Ledge, and the expanded Home Loan Center in Frandor. That's Dart Bank for what matters most.
Transferred here, red-shirted, moved into the starting lineup last year, now a Big 12 star for Baylor. Garrett into Asabuki for the slam. Garrett Up top has a Buki. Abaji over the top to him. Wow, got Gillespie in the air and finished strong.
They are attacking the switch when Gillespie switches out on a guard. Such a great offensive rebounding team, you don't want to give them the opportunity to get an offensive board toward the end.
Butler, 2 seconds. Just short, and Kansas will win it here in Waco.
There you see Kansas big man Udoka Azubuike, and he teams with point guard Devin Dotson. Probably the #1 inside-outside tandem any team would have. And Kansas projected by just about everyone as the overall #1 seed. We want to take a look at some projections. And Mike DeCourcy, a Fox bracketologist, has broken down what he expected to happen. And this was as of Wednesday. Stephen Brooks taking a look at the South region. Were the Kansas Jayhawks a worthy #1 overall pick?
Absolutely, no question to me. You're looking at the #1 overall team ranked on KenPom versus the #2 most difficult schedule nationally. They're #2 in the NCAA's net rankings. In KenPom, they're 8th on offensive efficiency, 2nd in defensive efficiency. When you're talking about national title contenders, you're usually in that top 20 in both range, top 15. They're top 10, obviously, in both. That says a lot. And then you look at some non-conference wins, Dayton, Duke, Colorado, Villanova, that they all played in the non-conference. So, yeah, no doubt. And they won the Big 12 for the 100th straight year.
Can you give me a seed on that chart, the South region, of 6 or higher that could get beat in the first round? We're talking about Kansas, Florida State, Creighton, right? Creighton would be
Virginia.
in there, Wisconsin. Yeah.
Yeah,
Which of those top 6 would go down?
I see a lot. I think Creighton as a 3 against a Belmont. I don't think much of Creighton. 4 is a Wisconsin and 5 is Virginia. We've seen them both be shaky, but I'm actually going to go. I'll give you a bold one. I'll say Florida State would lose to 7 seed Iowa in the second round.
Really?
Yeah. I think
I have
Iowa could
in that region.
Yeah, Iowa could be one of those teams. If they get hot, you know what Garza's going to bring. But if everybody around him hits other shots and steps up in a way, they're going to be a really tough matchup. And Florida State just seems like one of those programs that always lets you down this time of year. They never go as deep as you think they should.
Tom, do you see any major upsets? What first round shocker do you see?
I got 2 that just jump out the page. I'm grabbing them. #11, UCLA trending up over Penn State trending down. And then Stephen F. Austin, who knows how to win big games, #12 seed over Virginia, who has dripping with complacency. We won the damn thing last year, so we're good. And I have Iowa beating Kansas in that region.
Is that right?
Yeah, I have Iowa going to Atlanta.
Man.
Wow.
I just don't know. It's when these Luka Garza's a great player, and he got lots of support on there.
Kansas has a player who transferred from Iowa, so there's some hard feelings about that too.
But
Lindsay, could the NCAA selection committee have done what the NBA did and put this whole thing on hold till June, or was that not possible?
I'm going to give a very unpopular answer. I said it's not possible. We are connected to sports with our emotion, but we had to let practicality ring. I think it was a good decision to put a halt on everything. As much as it hurt those seniors being their last game, we don't know where we're at with this coronavirus, and I think it was a responsible thing. So now we can focus on being healthy as opposed to trying to get one more game in this season. And I say this as a rabid sports fan.
Can you call Tom Izzo and tell him that?
I'm not calling Tom Izzo. You call Tom and tell him that. He's probably watching now. Sorry, Coach.
What about the idea, some have suggested that it looks like the spring sports are all going to get another year. And Mike Krzyzewski said, hey, I think basketball should get it too.
Yeah, but they're not getting, the spring sport didn't even start or barely start. And Michigan's the #1 baseball team in the country. You got to get those
seniors at Northwestern said that'd be great. Just another year. We'll be right back with more. Another region coming up here on Press Pass.
Whether your insurance need is for business, farm and agriculture, or protecting your home and auto, experience the benefit of a local agent who cares about you with the David Chapman Agency and Auto Owners Insurance. Visit davidchapmanagency.com. In a world in need of integrity, Fox 47 presents a team of superheroes that will rule your daytime. The League of Justice, bringing truth, compassion, humor to a city yearning for fairness, led by the masked crusader Judge Millian.
What business do you have having a minor who's 16 go with you instead of her parents? You're a grown man.
People's Court puts naughty people in their place. Then Paternity Court saves the day by finding out who is your daddy.
I'll dismiss your case and throw you out. Got it?
The mighty Mathis and the sizzling trio of hot bench blaze the trail for the Queen of the Court, Judge Judy.
Because you were being paid in cash that you weren't reporting.
The League of Justice rules weekdays on Fox 47.
Profit over patience is a different kind of battlefield. The Resident, all new Tuesday on Fox.
What's really important to me is being able to have a partner, and Dart Bank has been that for me. I'm Eric Nelson. I'm a managing partner here at the English Inn. I've worked with John Morris at Dart Bank to help put together multiple projects that have assisted us with growing our business and continuing to be successful.
Team spirit, face paint, more cowbell. Dean Trailway's motor coach takes care of your travel, so you can support your favorite Spartan teams and focus on the important things. Dean Trailways, your favorite ride.
Woody's Oasis, your healthy alternative to fast food. Woody's has the best Mediterranean food in town. Stop and see Chuck and Delita. They'll make you feel like family. Their friendly, knowledgeable staff is always willing to help.
Hi, how are you doing today? Do you want to do the homemade bread with it, or did you want to do the thin bread as the side?
They'll be sure to put a smile on your face. And as lifelong supporters of MSU athletics, you never know who might stop by. Eat Woody's and live longer.
Coulda, shoulda, Woody's.
Woody's Oasis on Trowbridge Road, right next to campus.
Now Pritchard steps back. His shot. That won't go. Tip. Loose ball. And they go possession arrow. It belongs to Gonzaga with .2 to go.
Scorer, man. He's got that scorer's mentality. He's going to miss 2-3 shots. He's going to come back and shoot the ball. Oh,
Corey Kispert. Nice little pocket pass. Slipped it through to Drew Timmy. There's the rebound to Timmy.
Timmy's so active in this game.
Kispert wastes no time. A transition triple.
He's been waiting for that. He feels good now. Look at him.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. Want to take another look at our official non-selection Sunday bracket put together by Mike DeCourcy of Fox. Now we're moving to the West region. And Tom Crawford, we see the number 2 overall seed, the number 1 seed in the West, the Gonzaga Bulldogs. Gonzaga, a worthy number 1 seed in the West.
Well, I mean, when I saw Gonzaga play it, Michigan beat them. I battled for Atlanta.
18 points.
Yeah, they blew them out. But, you know, I struggle with Gonzaga, Jack, because, you know, that conference, the Big West, whatever they call that conference, the West Conference, or the Big East, Big West, or Big West, rather. And I can't evaluate the talent. Yeah. You know, and so, but they were good. You know, they only lost 2 games, and so I guess they're worthy. I look at the other teams. I don't see who else would be in there. Maybe a 2 seed from another region, maybe like a Florida State. I don't know, but this region right here is interesting. I am going to make a projection that Ohio State is gone, bye-bye, because, you know, this is all, there's no accountability in this exercise we're doing right now, so I want to get rid of Ohio State, so see ya.
Can't go back and prove them wrong later, the way we usually do.
I would take advantage of it.
What about San Diego State as a 2 seed?
Once again, a weak league, if you will. What is that, Mountain West they're in? I don't know.
But they did beat Iowa, your choice to win the South region.
That's true.
And they beat Creighton,
you can pick
a Big East co-champ, by 30-plus points.
That's good. And the benefit of San Diego State is they get to stay at home. So, and that's huge, more so than the seed.
Yeah. Can you give me maybe another team that's highly ranked that would be in trouble besides Ohio State, or is that your only one of the top 6 who bow out early?
Yeah, as far as top 6 goes, now I think that, you know, maybe BYU, is that BYU and Indiana, maybe Indiana, you know, because they're come from such a tough conference in the Big Ten. I'm a big caliber competition guy, and when you go in the tournament, you're probably better than your seed is.
Lindsay, what first round upsets do you see? What's the game that is going to have everybody gathered around the television?
Well, I don't know if they'll all be gathered, but, you know, you look at Rutgers, you know, rough playing team. The Big Ten, like Tom was saying, has been playing so great.
Could beat Arizona, right?
I could see that happening, and it's almost like I would predict that to happen because all big teams are so battle-tested this season. And going into this type of tournament with those small odds, I think they could turn that around. And Arizona, in my eyes, weren't really making that much noise this season compared to what Rutgers has been through and what they're doing for their program right now. So I would pick Rutgers to be the upset game.
Is there a team that you feel sorrier for today than Rutgers?
I was going to say, I got a soft spot for Rutgers. You know,
40 years we're talking about. Is that right?
Yeah.
Since the last time you were in the tournament?
Probably.
Yeah, late 70s.
Them and Penn State, I sort of put them both together, but Rutgers just became really likable, I thought, the way they played this year, early in the year, and the way they came out of nowhere to become relevant, become a story.
Would you have liked to see the NCAA selection committee release an official bracket and even go ahead and print an official game program so that people would? No, you're shaking your head no.
No, because I understand. See, I'm a little torn because I feel awful for these players, coaches and staff and everybody else as well, but I feel awful for the players. So if it would help these players out even a little bit, I would sort of be in favor of it, but generally speaking, no, because all the data isn't in. All these conference tournaments aren't in. You know, Minnesota could have ran through the Big Ten and stole a bid there and knocked somebody else out.
Most of the conference tournaments are done.
But not all. Yeah, but not all. So you would have had to make a lot of... So you wouldn't do it just
because you think there's a 1/10% chance that Minnesota's going to win the Big Ten tournament?
But you'd be making a lot of assumptions, and therefore you'd be taking out the best part of March Madness. We just assume there's none of these upsets are going to happen.
It's fragmented data is what you're saying.
It's incomplete.
Well, if you use a lot of asterisks by there.
Well, then what's the point of even doing it? You know? But I do. So in not releasing it, I like the fishing story element of it. Okay, so 20 years from now, you know, 80 teams are going to say, "Oh, we would have been in." We would have
exactly.
been in. And about 30 of them are going to say, "Oh, we could have won that thing. They just didn't play it." So I like that it'll just keep getting bigger and bigger.
That's a good point.
Everybody,
this guy,
you
he
know,
knows his stuff.
Everybody will eventually sort of have a claim to it.
You can talk to Izzo about this too.
Good luck with that.
I think it would have been really cool if they printed a souvenir program and they had sold it, and the money had gone to some sort of a relief fund, something that people would need. And by the way, these credentials, I'll be the last one here to flash mine. Stephen, you didn't get one.
No, I was going the next morning. So like Michigan State, I was sort of played it out just right where I didn't have to turn the car around. I was already here in Lansing, so disappointed like everybody else. No, mine is the last Michigan State basketball game of the year.
That was a good one.
When we were leaving, Lindsay, I saw that guy out in front of Banker's Life selling Stephen's credential for $250. Valuable item.
Yeah.
We'll be right back with the East Region coming up.
At Graf Chevrolet in Okemos, you'll always get a great deal on a huge selection of high-quality used cars and trucks. But you'll also get something else. Peace of mind. Every Graf used vehicle purchase comes with up to 6 oil changes for the first 2 years of ownership. We'll also give you free tire rotation with every other oil change. Always a great selection of used vehicles starting from $1,000 and up. Check them out at grafokemos.com. Lower your cost of ownership with our Peace of Mind program, only at Graf Chevrolet in Okemos.
The Student Bookstores are Green and White Shop headquarters. Outfit your entire family with Spartan gear. We have a large selection of men's, women's, and children's clothing. Show off your Michigan State pride with new shoes, socks, hats, and more. Have your tailgate ready with MSU party supplies, car accessories, and dress your pet in green and white. We have gifts for students, grads, alumni, and fans. From Vera Bradley and Dooney and Burke to diploma frames and more. Always shop SBS for the biggest and best selection of green and white. Go green, go white, go SBS.
Anyone who's had our chicken knows it's plump and juicy. What they may not know is that it's also 100% natural.
All our chickens are certified, humanely raised, no antibiotics, on a high-quality diet of soy and grain.
Why are they called tenders?
They're called tenders because they come from the tenderloin of the breast, hand-trimmed just for colors. It's not a strip or a finger, it is the true tenderloin.
I'll put our chicken tenders up against anybody's.
That's like my Granny Franklin used to make. That's outstanding, Craig.
Welcome to Delicious.
The only station with a weather guarantee.
Fox 47 News.
Why did I become a Michigan State Trooper?
I wanted to make a difference, help people, and save lives.
You don't need prior law enforcement experience, and you get paid while you train.
You can serve anywhere in the state, and there are many different career paths.
I want to leave behind a legacy
And be a role model in my community.
Working together to keep our communities safe.
What are you waiting for?
Change your career, change your community, change your life. Apply today.
Officer down.
Coming in hot. You've got one shot.
Can you hear me?
Hayden, I'm a firefighter. And don't be scared. We're gonna get you out of there.
911, what's your emergency?
The return of 911 this Monday on Fox.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. Time for our Law of the Jungle segment, brought to you by Woody's Oasis on Trowbridge Road, your healthy alternative to fast food. Eat Woody's and live longer. I'm talking about chicken shawarma with baked breast meat and hummus made fresh in a 3-day process. That's why I'm there every week. Stop and see Chuck, Delita, and their terrific staff on Trowbridge, or find Woody's favorites at Tom's Foods, Horrocks, and all across MSU's campus.
Look at Vital, and that's what he does best. Attacks the glass.
Oh,
Mark Vital.
What a play.
Right pass, Mark Vital, who's one of the best defenders in the country. And he's a good finisher as well and does it with either hand.
Oh, Vital over the top. The assist to Mitchell.
Passed by Abaji.
Butler. Vital with a reverse. Gillespie shovels it out. Teague for 3.
Welcome back to Press Pass on Fox 47. Time to take a look at the East region on our Selection Sunday official bracket, our substitute bracket, courtesy of Mike DeCourcy from Fox. Stephen Brooks, the Baylor Bears, are they a worthy #1 seed?
Yeah, I'm gonna say yes again. 5th on net, 3rd overall team on KenPom, 17th offensive efficiency, 4th defensive efficiency.
Nearly swept Kansas.
Yeah, and so you've got that top 20 in both, like I said, that you want. Like Tom was saying earlier, I like March Madness is all about the Cinderellas and these schools you've never heard of and all of that, but when it comes to 1 seeds, specifically, I always like to err on side of the power conference teams. I don't really like, Gonzaga has sort of proven it, they're sort of in a different neighborhood, but San Diego States of the world and things like that, I usually like to err toward the power teams, so I'm going to say Baylor, absolutely worthy. They played Villanova, they played Arizona, they played Butler out of conference, played Washington.
Give me a team seeded 6th or higher in the East, and that could include Michigan State, that wouldn't make it through the first weekend.
I think that's pretty easy. I think it's Michigan State beating Butler in round 2 for me.
Okay, so you think Butler is a team that would go down?
Yeah, I don't think too much of them. I think a lot of Michigan State. I wouldn't have them as a 4. I think they're a solid 3, going into this, especially the way they're playing and playing out the fictional Big Ten title. You never know, I guess. But, yeah, I'd like them over Butler in round of 32.
Tom Crawford, what first-round upsets do you see in Mike DeCourcy's East region?
Well, I don't see any. I mean, I guess you're going to force me to say it. I'll just do the old default to the 9 over the 8 and Arizona State over Houston. This region, Jack, is brutal. My word. That's why I just think it's going to go chalk.
I can't interest you in East Tennessee State over Michigan?
No.
East Tennessee State's pretty good.
No. I just think this is way lopsided. But I have Illinois losing to Baylor in the regional title game.
Lindsey Huddleston, there was serious consideration given to coming up with an alternate tournament. We're talking about 16 teams taking the first weekend out over 5 days, 1 site. If they had done that, would that have appeased fans or would it have infuriated everyone?
It would have infuriated the hell out of me.
No, it wouldn't have appeased fans.
My team would be out.
No, there's no way it would have appeased fans. The only way fans are appeased if their team is holding up the national championship trophy. The reality is that we're hitting with something that's unprecedented. No one was ready for it, but we have to side on the idea of what's the safest thing to take as this thing unfolds. And that's hard because right now you're dealing with the excitement of March Madness and everyone wants to be a part of it. So I don't think that idea of reducing the team's play would have changed at all. There'd have been controversy around that. It's just a bad situation all the way around.
Tom, remember when UCLA won the 10 championships in 12 years?
Oh, yeah.
For many of those years, you're talking about a 16-team tournament.
Well, I remember 24 was
Yeah.
as late as 1974 when
Right.
Campy Russell was playing. I mean, it was crazy. I mean, you were already into the Big Ten champion was already in the Sweet 16 right out of the chute.
Yeah.
2 games and you're in the Final Four. It was crazy.
What would your reaction have been if they said, okay, we're just going to cut to the chase here. We're going to say thanks for playing, everyone from a 5 seed and lower, and we're just going to bring in these top 16.
I would have hated it. I mean, Michigan would have been left out. It's all about Michigan. You know, the thing of it is, if you won, whoever won that tournament, there's going to be an asterisk beside it.
Sure.
I mean, and these upsets, that's the magic of March Madness.
Yeah.
Comes into play. I'm glad they didn't go. I mean, the fact that they even thought about that kind of.
They went pretty far down the road with that. They actually had alternate sites in mind.
That's scary.
They had
I don't
different
like that.
possibilities.
As a viewer, I think it would have been awesome.
I think it would have been horrible.
It's like the college football playoff, though. You're, in theory, you're guaranteed really good games because it's just the best of the best. And
But
I
Minnesota
agree.
wouldn't have been in. How can you be happy with that?
But I'm saying you do love the upsets and the runs and everything. That is what it's all about. But especially looking back when we have nothing to look forward to.
How often does the Sweet 16 go chalk? Never.
Right.
Never.
But it would have been. I think it would have been a lot of fun to watch it.
How often do you get the 4 number 1 seeds advancing? Not very
Not
often,
very
right?
often. Maybe 3
Very
or 1
rarely.
and a 2.
I think we saw some good games.
All right, we will be back, and we're going to conclude this exercise, and we're going to take a look at the last region, the final number 1 seed, who gets it, and the fact that the Big Ten has 10 teams. Yes, indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, the Big Ten would have put 10 teams in the tournament. We'll be right back on Press Pass.
I'm Tara from the Holt & Diamonddale Insurance Agency. We specialize in knowing your business and office needs. From cyber liability to professional liability, we have you covered. For an insurance checkup, call your hometown team today.
My name is Tom Payne, and I play Malcolm Bright in Prodigal Son. Malcolm is a character who is plagued by nightmares, controlled by his feelings and emotions, a victim of his upbringing, quite a tortured character. The story concerns Malcolm's attempts to come to terms with the fact that his father is a world-renowned serial killer and how that affects his life and who he is as a person. Malcolm works as a FBI profiler, and his profession is concerned with understanding serial killers and hunting them down. Obviously, that's related very closely with his father. I think a primary question of the show is, are you born a certain way or are you made into something? I think there is a fear deep within Malcolm that his father's inclinations may erupt within him.
Don't miss The Masked Singer, all new Wednesday on Fox.
What's really important to me is being able to have a partner, and Dart Bank has been that for me. I'm Eric Nelson. I'm a managing partner here at the English Inn. I've worked with John Morris at Dart Bank to help put together multiple projects that have assisted us with growing our business and continuing to be successful.
Team spirit, face paint, more cowbell. Dean Trailways Motor Coach takes care of your travel, so you can support your favorite Spartan teams and focus on the important things. Dean Trailways, your favorite ride.
Woody's Oasis, your healthy alternative to fast food. Woody's has the best Mediterranean food in town. Stop and see Chuck and Delita. They'll make you feel like family. Their friendly, knowledgeable staff is always willing to help.
Hi, how are you doing today? Do you want to do the homemade bread with it, or did you want to do the thin bread as a side?
They'll be sure to put a smile on your face. And as lifelong supporters of MSU athletics, you never know who might stop by. Eat Woody's and live longer.
Coulda, shoulda, Woodies.
Woody's Oasis on Trowbridge Road, right next to campus.
The Flyers go to their half-court offense.
Good job by George Washington in getting back in transition, stopping the GW fast break. Oh, wow.
11-0 run did George Washington. Now they've gone nearly 3 minutes without any points. Lob.
Cards right now saying when he catches the ball in the post, you've got to help me.
Time to take a look at the final region, the Midwest, in the Press Pass. Substitute bracket for the NCAA tournament, courtesy of Mike DeCourcy of Fox. Tom Crawford, what do you think of the Dayton Flyers as a #1 seed, something no one saw coming?
Yeah, and I feel bad for that school. This is just, we're doing this as an exercise, not reality, because Dayton, I mean, this was an incredible season. And optically, as we just saw in that clip, they're incredible. I mean, Dayton Arena was crazy. When they had College Game Day, it was the best crowd they had all year. But, you know, they're not going to win this region. I'll tell you that. Maryland's going to win this region. They're going to Atlanta. But a team that I'm going to pick is going to lose is Auburn. Because every time I watched them play this year, they got upset. I've never seen a team get upset like every week. I mean, it seemed like they're always getting beat. But this region, although that's going to pretty much chalk up. But I mean, I think Maryland wins this region and goes on to Atlanta and represents. There'll be 2 Big Ten teams at the Final Four.
Not only do I have Dayton winning the Midwest region, I have them settling a score with Kansas in the national semifinal and going on to the championship game. How about that?
Wow.
Wow. That'd be fun.
Anthony Grant, National Coach of the Year. Obi Toppin could be
yeah.
National Player of the Year.
Great.
It's either him or Luka Garza, right?
Yeah, he's a terrific player. Wow.
Lindsay, what first-round upsets do you see here in the Midwest? What team is cruising for a bruiser?
You know, it's pretty tough. You know, when I'm forced to answer that question, I'm looking at these lines, and the only little concern I would have is Texas Tech trying to have a resurgence over Providence. I'm a big friend of Coach Ed Cooley. I know he's been working hard. His profile is really high. But that's the only thing that kind of catches me a little bit. But to your point, I would see Dayton and Maryland squaring off. But I would probably give Maryland the edge only because Dayton is still, once they look down at their feet after the Cinderella season, I think that could be the reason they could not go the furthest had they had the opportunity to play more.
There's got to be another 1, 2, or 3 seed that goes down. How about Kentucky? Had some very uneven performances, lost at home to Stephen F. Austin, right?
Right.
I have to admit, when I saw that, Kentucky came to mind, but I'm such a fan of Coach Cal, I tried not to think about that.
Duke that lost to Stephen F. Austin,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, and earlier in the year.
Right.
But then a lot of people beat Duke. But Kentucky got better. They typically get better as the season goes on, right?
But Kentucky will blank out on you at some time during the season where they don't bring it like they need to, and unfortunately you get a negative outcome. You got to keep an eye out for those guys with that.
They do get better because they're so young.
Yeah, that's
young,
the formula.
So by the time they get to the end.
Absolutely. We get to mid-February, watch out for Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
Stephen, we heard Tom gush all over Maryland. Do you think Maryland deserves to be the Big Ten's highest seed?
I do, yeah, especially if they win the fictional Big Ten tournament, like I just said a couple segments ago. 24-7 overall, you know, fewer losses than anybody else that would be in that discussion.
2 of the last 3.
Yeah, well, they would have won the Big Ten tournament.
Yeah,
but in this scenario, they would have won the Big Ten
really
tournament.
Solid 6 players, but no depth.
Their losses were all on the road and in legitimate places: Iowa, Wisconsin, Rutgers, Penn State, Seton Hall, all good teams. They didn't have a bad loss, too. That's the thing. They had fewer losses. They didn't have a bad loss.
Are you giving Maryland extra props because of the Big Ten's depth? The fact that it put 10 teams into this tournament out of 14?
Yeah, and it was consistently, you know, they did stumble at the end, but it was wire to wire. It was the most consistent Big Ten team, I thought. They weathered that storm for the most part. You know, they got hit a little bit by the end and lost some really important games, but they were the most consistent, I thought, all the way across. They do have the talent. You know, it's not like, they passed the eye test, I think, as well. So yeah, I'd be fine with them. I think Michigan State, like I said, should comfortably be in that 3 range, maybe even a 2. I think 4th is way too low. If you're talking a 4th seed, you're starting them at 13th or lower, on the total seed list. I can't see that at all.
I have seen Michigan State ranked as low as 14th overall. I've seen them 11th. I've seen them 9th, and I've seen them 7th. So Michigan State's been all over. I think that was one team people were watching the Big Ten tournament and to see if what we saw at the end of the year was what they really are.
Yeah, down the stretch, Michigan State was just tremendous. It's just so sad that we couldn't find out how good these Big Ten teams were going to do.
And we don't have the last 10 in the way it used to, that everyone looked at the last 10 games.
Yeah, the old formula.
So would have been very interesting to see how this all turned out. And the next couple of weeks, we're going to spend a little bit more time with a mock NCAA tournament bracket. And when we get back, we have much more conversation about Cassius Winston, Michigan State, Lamar Stevens, about seniors whose years ended much too soon. We'll be right back.
I haven't spoken to my boy in weeks. I miss the little guy.
We have gone to places that I didn't realize we'd get to so quickly.
Inspector Beauville on the line.
Who?
It's my father.
Put him through.
The hell did you just say?
Excuse me?
You're gonna talk to your dad, we do it together as a team.
It's such a juicy dynamic to have him dealing with the team.
Are you sure this is a good idea?
Nope.
There's probably a bit of curiosity to try to figure out why he is the way he is, and therefore why Bright is the way he is.
Dr. Whitley, you're on with me and the rest of the team.
Gang's all there.
Should we do a quick introduction? It shows where the writers are willing to go.
I got a hit on the gun.
Oh, there's a lady cop? Oh, how wonderful.
I think things have been made a lot harder because he really has to confront his father in a new way.
Your dad seems nice.
He's not.
At Graf Chevrolet in Okemos, you'll always get a great deal on a huge selection of high-quality used cars and trucks. But you'll also get something else, peace of mind. Every Graf used vehicle purchase comes with up to 6 oil changes for the first 2 years of ownership. We'll also give you free tire rotation with every other oil change. Always a great selection of used vehicles starting from $1,000 and up. Check them out at grafokemus.com. Lower your cost of ownership with our Peace of Mind program, only at Graf Chevrolet in Okemos.
The Ticket Machine is your local connection to concert, theater, and sporting event tickets nationwide. Our entertainment experts are ready to help you create a memorable experience, trusted by fans for more than 20 years. Whether you're looking for tickets for your corporate outing, family excursion, or vacation, we offer the best seats and the best prices. Grab a front row seat now on theticketmachine.com.
You're up. There's an old saying, you can never have too many officials. The age of the average official is 52 and getting older all the time. We're constantly recruiting new people, younger people to join us. After you register with the MHSAA, look on the website to find an officials association near you. They'll put you in a position to succeed as an official. We all learned a lot from high school sports, and officiating is a great way to give back to the game. There's help wanted, just whistle.
Touchdown, Champions.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. Time for our Going Green segment, brought to you by Graf Chevrolet and Graf Nissan on West Grand River in Okemos. With 106 years in the automobile business, they'll take great care of you, as they have on all 7 of my leases and purchases. Go green, go Graf.
How do you feel about all that's unfolded in, say, the last 36 hours?
Man, it's hard to know what I feel right now. Just because things kind of ended so sudden, going into the tournament, you kind of know that one of these games is going to be our last game, so you can kind of take it slow. Like it just happened. It felt like it just flew by because nobody expected it to end. I went out a champion, not the season that we wanted, not the season that we kind of expected, but at the end, we fought through a lot. We battled, and we got a chance to hoist up a trophy. So my senior year, I feel like I did end it with a championship. It's kind of tough for me to feel the same way I guess a lot of seniors feel, because I feel like I've been through a situation that's way worse, so I might not be the best person to ask about the season ending this way because, I feel like, relatively speaking, there's a lot of worse things that could happen. So, I got to enjoy my senior year, had a great team, a great coach. Everything about it was great on that end. So, still having a chance to end it a champion, end it with my brothers, there's no better feeling.
There you see Cassius Winston with ESPN's Nicole Briscoe. Is it possible to have a better final performance unless you cut the nets down on Monday night than Cassius Winston had? Lindsey Huddleston, when you think about all he went through, and to wind up 31 points shy of 2,000, 10 assists from 900, he would have been just the fourth player to have that combination of assets. Does he earn a spot on Michigan State's basketball Rushmore with Magic Johnson, Tom Izzo, and Mateen Cleaves?
Absolutely. He's earned that. He earned that from the moment he came back from the tragedy in his personal life and continued to lead Michigan State on to victory. And if you were in that building versus Ohio State when they raised that 2020 banner and got to see the adulation he had to be able to say, look what we've done, that was a championship moment, though it wasn't the NCAA championship, but it was a championship moment and something he's going to look back on and really appreciate.
Stephen Brooks, when we talk about milestones missed, how about Penn State senior Lamar Stevens finishes with 2,207 points? That is 6 points shy of the Penn State school record of Taylor Battle. And remember, he was 3 for 19 on his senior night against Michigan State. It was the only bad game he had all year. But now, not to get to play in the Big Ten tournament, not to get to play in the NCAA tournament. How sad is that?
Oh, it's so sad. I mean, I think
it's the only reason he came back.
Yeah, maybe Xavier Tillman sends him a card or something because of that one game. I mean, 3 for 19, and you look at how short he was, man. Yeah, you feel terrible for him, Cassius Winston, all these guys. To have it taken away so abruptly is, obviously unprecedented. It's just bizarre. You feel for all these guys. For Stevens, his place in Penn State history, I think, is probably secure.
Yeah.
He's an absolute legend there, and he sort of did what he was supposed to, I guess, if that makes sense. He brought them back to relevance. He made them a competitive team at the highest level. An NCAA tournament run would have been awesome.
Yeah.
It would have been a cherry on top, but his place is pretty secure, as is Cassius Winston's, I think.
Tom Crawford, when you think about Winston and Stevens, they're going to be on almost all first-team All-Big Ten. Graham Couch had Cassius on his second team.
Yeah.
And Brendan Quinn had Xavier Tillman on the first team. What would your all-tournament team have looked like tonight?
Yeah, that's all different. And I have Luka Garza, Cassius Winston, Io DeSumo from Illinois.
Oh, yeah.
He's a money player. 2 Maryland guys because they're gonna win the Big Ten crown. Jalen Smith and Anthony Cowan. So that's how my all-tournament team plays out, which is just the tournament. That's the evaluation.
I had to vote for All-American today, and on my third team, I put Daniel Oturu.
Really?
From Minnesota.
Yeah.
I think he should have been on the All-Big Ten team. We'll be right back.
What's really important to me is being able to have a partner, and Dart Bank has been that for me. I'm Eric Nelson. I'm a managing partner here at the English Inn. I've worked with John Morris at Dart Bank to help put together multiple projects that have assisted us with growing our business and continuing to be successful.
Team spirit, face paint, more cowbell. Dean Trailway's motor coach takes care of your travel, so you can support your favorite Spartan teams and focus on the important things. Dean Trailways, your favorite ride.
Woody's Oasis, your healthy alternative to fast food. Woody's has the best Mediterranean food in town. Stop and see Chuck and Delita. They'll make you feel like family. Their friendly, knowledgeable staff is always willing to help.
Hi, how are you doing today? Do you want to do the homemade bread with it, or did you want to do the thin bread as a side?
They'll be sure to put a smile on your face. And as lifelong supporters of MSU athletics, you never know who might stop by. Eat Woody's and live longer.
Coulda, shoulda, Woody's.
Woody's Oasis on Trowbridge Road, right next to campus.
The new Fox Sports app, now with live streaming. Download it from the App Store today.
Anyone who's had our chicken knows it's plump and juicy. What they may not know is that it's also 100% natural.
All our chickens are certified, humanely raised, no antibiotics, on a high-quality diet of soy and grain.
Why are they called tenders?
They're called tenders because they come from the tenderloin of the breast, hand-trimmed just for colors. It's not a strip or a finger, it is the true tenderloin.
I'll put our chicken tenders up against anybody's.
That's like my Granny Franklin used to make. That's outstanding, Craig.
Welcome to Delicious.
Well, welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. Time for a cool and smooth segment brought to you by the 5 Culver's locations in mid-Michigan. Since 1984, Culver's has been delighting guests one meal at a time with scrumptious butter burgers and premium frozen custard. That's Culver's. Welcome to Delicious. There you see NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell and NFLPA Executive Director DeMaurice Smith after agreement on a new collective bargaining agreement carrying through at least 2030. The vote, very close, 1,019 to 959, a 60-vote margin with 500 players not voting. There's an expansion of the playoffs from 12 teams to 14, with just one bye for each conference. That begins next season. An increase in the regular season from 16 games to 17, likely beginning in 2021. A reduction from 4 preseason games to 3, the loss of 12 padded practices, an increase in the players' guaranteed revenue share from 47 to 48%, roster expansion from 53 players to 55, larger practice squads, a relaxed drug policy in terms of number of players tested, levels for positive tests and reduced penalties, and neutral arbitration for discipline cases. Maybe more important, they have benefits now for the players who really made the NFL what it was, and they had been forgotten. All right, Team 338, who's been as cool and smooth as a Culver's mint explosion this week? Lindsey Huddleston, what about our play of the week?
Play of the week, go back 7 days Sunday. It was Michigan State versus Ohio State, and 9.4 seconds left. Cassius Winston got to come out of the game and get his just due. I think that's going to be probably one of the best plays we've seen, being able to recognize him for all that he's done. He kissed the Spartan logo and was able to move forward and get his due. And I would call that the play of the week.
Pretty good way to go out. Stephen Brooks, what about our game of the week? Not much to choose from.
Yeah, you gave me the tough one. I'm just going to go with the last basketball, basically, that we saw. As far as I know, this is the last college game going on. St. John's Creighton, quarterfinals of the Big East tournament. Shut it down at halftime with St. John's leading 38-35. So that's the last college basketball for the foreseeable future.
There's one that really could have changed some things if St. John's had won and gone on and won the Big East.
That's why you can't assume anything and put out a bracket that would have too many assumptions, based on seeding or whatever else. So, yeah, that one was closed to the public too, so it had an eerie feel to it. And then they go in the locker room and don't come back out again. So that's a trivia answer. Hopefully that we all make it through this. It's the St. John's Creighton Big East tournament game.
I think Lisa Byington was doing that game. In fact, Tom Crawford, what about our team of the week?
Well, last Monday seems like a long time ago, Jack, and you and I were sitting next to each other at a high school district game. We saw a doubleheader. Lansing Catholic beat Fowlerville, and Williamston beat Eastern, and those two teams were to play Friday after winning their semis and district championship game. I'm going to go with those two teams. I feel bad for the high school kids. Lost in all the college basketball.
Are they co-district champions?
Yeah, co-district champions. And supposedly that tournament might reconvene. I think that's a stretch. But so Williamston, Lansing Catholic, you're our teams of the week.
I am going to miss that in a strange way. As much as I'm going to miss the NCAA tournament now, just really starting to get going. How many years have you been in Breslin or Chrysler or Jenison for high school semifinals?
Well, I mean, 64 was the first one I went to, so that's like 55 years, 56 years, whatever. Yeah, it's sad. Our world is upside down, folks. There's no question about it.
All right, how about our player of the week? I have to give a shout out to Ryan Tannehill.
Yes.
Quarterback for the Tennessee Titans. Had such a good year. Who could have seen this coming? The Tennessee says, Tom Brady, we don't want you.
So that's out the window now.
That's out the window.
Yeah.
They are not interested. But for our player of the week, has to be Rudy Gobert. And despite what he did on press row, a little immature, but hey, is it possible that we're going to thank Rudy Gobert we're going to say he may have saved some lives along the way, and he's just given $500,000 to workers.
That's good.
To help out, right? He said, I feel like I'm going to do my part at least, and a lot of other players are doing the same thing. Want to thank Tom Crawford, Blue Belly Tom, Lindsey Huddleston, the SPS Edge, and Stephen Brooks, 24/7 Sports, Spartan Tailgate Premium Site. See you next week.
Change your career, change your community, change your life. Apply today.
At Graff Chevrolet in Okemos, you'll always get a great deal on a huge selection of high-quality used cars and trucks. But you'll also get something else, peace of mind. Every Graff used vehicle purchase comes with up to 6 oil changes for the first 2 years of ownership. We'll also give you free tire rotation with every other oil change. Always a great selection of used vehicles starting from $1,000 and up. Check them out at graffokemos.com. Lower your cost of ownership with our Peace of Mind program, only at Graff Chevrolet in Okemos.
You're watching Fox 47's Family of Stations.
Wayne